All right, welcome back to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest and our special, most dramatic Bachelorette podcast ever. Joining me, as always, my wife, Jenny.
Hi.
Say hi. So we're taking a different approach this episode because we felt like we missed a couple of things last time. So we're going to watch some of the episode, record, and then stop, and then watch some more, and then record and stop. So you're going to get a little more detail, hopefully, from us. So the first part of the episode is basically what we saw in the promo of last week with Yosef imploding or exploding at Claire for making all the men, 10 of the guys go through the strip dodgeball, and then he pulls her aside and basically starts off like, I feel like he had a point. Like he was expressing himself and he's being pretty calm, and then he started repeating himself and getting more aggressive. It almost felt like he just was going to have a conversation and probably stay on the show. And then it escalated even further. And then he blows up. And then she blows. First of all, he wouldn't let her talk. And then she also wouldn't. She was like, hey, it's my turn, which I thought I was on her side. It's like, hey, dude, you've been talking for 20 minutes and now she can't talk? What did you think?
Oh, Yosef.
Yosef. And then
wow.
And then he like starts basically calling her names. Like, I don't know. I felt both of them. I think Yosef had a point. Like it was pretty degrading, but at the same time, he shouldn't have gone to that extent. Like that just makes him look bad. And then I think she overreacted too.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to comment on.
But
it was a little crazy, but
I mean, I feel bad for both of them. That sucked for both of them.
But on the good note, Dell came to the rescue.
I know. The only guy, there's like all these dudes standing around, and Dale, the future husband of Claire, just all of a sudden appears with his dark, strong body, and he grabs her and calms her down, gives her some smooches on the forehead,
and she feels better, which is exactly what your husband should make you feel. And then
they record her right after that. With Chris Harrison, who's looking great this season, like I said last episode. And he's like, what do you want to do? And she starts giggling about Dale, even though she's got mascara rolling down her face because she's crying, but she's like kind of excited and happy. But she's basically just like, I didn't know. She said, I'm basically falling in love with him. And it's been, 4 days?
I don't know how many days
crazy.
It's been, but it's been pretty fast.
And
but Superman's looking pretty good.
Oh my gosh. What is Superman's name?
I don't know. The Harvard
graduate. Every time they show him, he's just like sitting back, relaxed with his nice glasses on and looking like Clark Kent.
Yep.
Yeah, Superman. And she cancels the cocktail party.
Yeah, but usually they have Chris do that. So that was good for her for going in and saying.
Yeah, and I'm actually on Claire's side here. I don't think she should have asked permission of the guys. Like, I felt like it was kind of weak.
Yeah, she already knows what she wants to do. So I don't think talking and having conversations are going to change her mind. And where she's upset and just kind of needs to call it a night, it's good for her for just saying, let's just go to the rose ceremony.
She should either, like you said, had Chris come in and say it, or she should just come in and say, hey, I'm canceling the rose ceremony. I don't need to ask anyone's permission. It's my show.
I do feel bad for the guys because the guys really need that time to talk to her. But realistically, she's only going to pick one of you. So.
Well, remember, what's that guy's name? The football guy. He was the Bachelor, and this happened, and he ended up saying
Colton.
I remember he postponed the rose ceremony. He says we're going to have a beach, like a pool party the next day, and then have a rose ceremony. Like he didn't want the women not to have some time. But I feel like you said, that these guys aren't going to get time, and half of them we don't even know their names, and they're probably going to go home tonight.
Yep, it's part of the show. She's only going to pick one, so.
And by the way, before we pause and get back to the show, I'm on Team Easy. He's so awesome. Like, I know I made fun of his name last episode, but me and Easy, we're tight now. I like me some Easy.
Okay.
How about that?
Thanks for clarifying.
All right, let's get back to the show. All right, we're back. We just witnessed the rose ceremony. Dudes left. She canceled. Well, no. That was before. So she had the rose ceremony that we didn't get to see last episode. We saw some old Russian guy. He looked like a Russian mob boss. I'm sorry, I did not get rose. And then he's gone. And then we say goodbye to 3 other guys. And now the next day, she's got a day date with 10 guys. My boy Easy's on there. And then she comes in after some girl that I don't know from season 4 is giving her some tips. And it's like noticeably late in the day, and she cancels the day date.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. And she's like, "Oh, sorry, guys."
Yeah, I kind of feel like she cancels the cocktail party. That's what I was going to say earlier. She cancels the cocktail party, and then she cancels the day date. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a bummer. It's
funny that she commented, "This could be the shortest season ever."
Oh, I know. Right at the end before the commercial break, she's like, "This could be it." What you just said. It's insane. All right, let's get back. We got to get back to the episode. We'll see you in a second. All right, we're back. I know it was only a second for you guys, but it was like 40 minutes for us because we couldn't stop watching it. We were going to stop every episode or every commercial break, but it got so crazy. So going back to where we stopped, there was the date, the day date that got canceled and became a night date. And I thought it was the whole date got canceled, but it really didn't. It was the day date.
Is that because she was talking to that lady all day?
It must have something.
She just wanted to talk about Dale to that lady.
But it was dark. Like, she came in the morning, or at least the early afternoon, and then all of a sudden it was dark. And that's when it's the first comment from, I can't remember his name, the guy with the cool mustache. He and the giant freaking biceps, where it's just started creeping in that people were disliking Dale. Like, he said a comment that was like, "Man, this is kind of down, at the vibes getting down because we're talking about Dale and Dale's not even on the date, you know?" So, and then was he on the date? How did he get in the room? Because he
was on the date.
Oh, he was on the date.
And he went first because he was like, "Hey, I'm going to I need to talk to Claire." And then like an hour later, and then he goes in a second time. So that's why the guys are like, are we getting punked?
Yeah, and she kept saying, "Why are you so perfect? Why are you so perfect?" And you're right. He was there for at least 45. I mean, some guy says 40 minutes. Some guy said an hour. So at least between 45 minutes to an hour. And then he goes back, like you said. And everyone was really angry when he got back because he got up and said this speech about how he
wants to respect everybody's time.
Exactly. And then he doesn't.
And she was happy to have him come back again. She was like, oh, well, stay. Like,
right in front of the guy. Right in front of that guy.
She should have. Well, obviously, because she wants to be with him, but she should have maybe.
And remember when she's whispering to the producer, like, hey, let's hurry this along.
Yeah.
And she was like being rude to dudes, like cutting them off and like interrupting them and just saying, hey, let's move this along. So anytime a guy interrupted, usually the bachelor or bachelorette is like, oh, I kind of want to, give whoever they're with more time. And then she's like, oh yeah, she was like, super happy to move it along, which I thought was kind of rude to the guys. And I feel like she just wanted to cut the night short so that she could sneak Dale into her room or something.
Yeah, she made that clear at the end. She said she...
So then that happened. Then there's the date with Zach J. from St. George. He's from St. George, right?
Yeah.
And they picked to go on a pedicure.
She was not into that. She was like, get me out of here as fast as I possibly can.
She was into the pedicure, but like when she asked him, he's like, oh yeah, I don't really want to do the pedicure. And then he was like really awkward, and she was rubbing avocado on his face. It was so awkward, right?
It was awkward. And then at the pool, she like jumps on the floaties so she doesn't have to be by him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then the kiss heard around the world, or the non-kiss.
I know. He was totally waiting for the kiss, and she stops.
We rewound that 3 times because we wanted to make sure.
Like, he was waiting for the kiss. She just stopped, and then that got really awkward real fast.
Because she said he pulled away, but we watched it 3 times, and he stands
He's just waiting
stationary.
for the kiss, and she stops.
Yeah. Maybe she felt like he should have met her halfway, but it was just, they were right there at the steps of the pool. And
then she didn't know what to do, so she's like, I'm just going to run inside, thanks.
And he kind of was not cool. Like, he was taken off guard, but then he tried to, like, grab her neck, and that was not very good. It kind of made me feel gross because I'm a guy, and that you don't do that. That's not cool. And she obviously took offense to it, because then she sends him home. She doesn't even talk to him. Oh, and doesn't even show up to the dinner.
Yeah, she just has Chris. But she wasn't uncomfortable. I mean, she was uncomfortable. What? She was uncomfortable.
She was uncomfortable. And rightfully so. It was awkward, but I kind of feel like she made it more awkward, and then he also made it more awkward. It was just bad.
Which,
bad
send them all home. Like, towards the end, just send them all home. Like, the guys are on to you.
Yeah. And then they have a group date, which is a roast. And she specifically says, I mean, the date card says, don't take this seriously.
Don't take it personally.
Or personally.
And she totally did.
And she totally does. And then the producers and the show edit it so that it makes it sound like all the guys are just digging on Dale. But that one guy said, I only had one joke against Dale, and I had 47 other jokes about all the other guys.
Yeah, and she kept digging every guy. So Dale thinks he's a front runner? What? Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah, because she
asked like every guy about that. Because she just wants, he feels that way. Like, she just wants validation.
Yeah, and I mean, poor her, because she just wants to be with Dale, but...
And then not to give the rose out to anybody.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember that ever happening on a group date. Usually on like a 3-on-1 or a 2-on or whatever, obviously you're not going to give out a roast, but like, it's so weird.
She obviously made it clear to the guys that she wasn't interested, because she couldn't even give it to one.
Yeah.
Like, they're on to her. So, I mean, and obviously we saw the preview of Tasia, so.
Yeah.
And they said she leaves. So, does she leave with Dell? Does she not? I think she does, because that's kind of where she's at, but...
It sounded like there's a lot more drama that happens, and they always make it,
And I hate that they show us.
Yeah.
Now, like,
they showed
now
us.
we have to wait a week. I mean,
halfway through the episode. There's an hour left. And then we didn't get to see any of it.
They do that on purpose just so we'll watch next week, which we will.
So I just want to shout out to my boy Easy. He was super funny in the last half of this episode. He's my best friend now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Easy. And I want to shout out to Easy and say, sorry I made fun of your name. Your name's awesome. I like you, Easy. Take it easy. And so Kenny, we learned Kenny's name. He's not just the breast tat guy. His name is Kenny. He's got nice abs, like we've mentioned. And I love that at the very end, he's like, hey, do you guys even know, is there any guy here that has a connection with her other than Dale? And there's like crickets. All the guys are like, well. And no one can be like, hey, well, I have a connection with her. No, nobody can say that.
Right.
And then obviously she doesn't give out the rose. And they're wondering why not. I mean, one guy deserved the rose. And nobody gets it. And then she gives it to herself?
Yeah.
Come on,
she
Claire.
deserved it.
Does she deserve the rose? It's not. It's supposed to be for the dudes.
Well, she thinks so.
Anything else that we need to talk about? And then the last 2 seconds is Tasia. No, is it Tasia?
Tasia, I think.
Tasia.
So, does she get the leftover guys, or do they bring the guys back? Because obviously they said Claire leaves.
Yeah.
Again, does she leave with Dale or not? Well, to be determined.
Who knows?
I mean, there's some still pretty good guys left, but is that fair for Tasia? Like, does she just get the leftovers, or?
Yeah. Would you want, like, it just feels awkward. It feels like she should be able to have like 5 or 6 more guys come back.
So she has a chance to pick who she... Because maybe she'll have a connection with some of the people that Claire didn't. Probably not Yosef. He's done.
Oh, yeah. He's
Don't
done.
bring him back.
Bye-bye, Yosef. Yo-yo Yosef. I mean, we still got Superman. Bennett. He gave the roast he was pretty hard on Dale. Well, that was... I mean, I know the show jokes about this all the time. That was the most dramatic episode I've ever seen in the Bachelor history.
And bizarre and weird and inappropriate. Like, give someone a rose. Like,
yeah.
Fake it.
Yeah. Any last thoughts?
No.
Well, there you have it. No is the answer, and it sounds like Claire's giving a lot of no's to everybody else. We'll find out next week in the more dramatic episode review of The Bachelorette from the Popcorn Priest and his wife Jenny. We'll see you next time.